most judgments that have been or that have been delivered dwells on the qualifications of the candidate, Laborers Ushoma says. Yeah. So there are several issues ranging from qualification to um, nature of elections and the nature of results that were announced by INEC. But let's see what Ushoma is trying to say here. Liberals Ushoma, a Nigerian attorney, claims that the majority of the Electoral Tribunal's rulings have focused mostly on the candidates' qualifications. In an interview with Arise TV News, he said that the Election Tribunal for 2023 may use the same strategy by examining more closely at President Bola Tinubu's credentials. He claims that owing to his technicality, the tribunal would not linger more on the normalities at the voting places. Can you imagine? The majority of the rulings that have been made focus on applicants' qualifications, he said. Additionally, according to the court, qualifying applies to both pre-election and post-election situations. As a result, you learn that petitioners avoid taking to the tough task of proving anomalies by voting units because they don't want to worry themselves with it. So they search for the most qualified individuals. Did those who were authorized to conduct the primaries do them in a legitimate manner? Are the applicants submitted certifications authentic? The certifications, were they fake? These are the concerns that they all watch out for. So why would the judiciary look at qualifications alone? Or why would people who are challenging election outcome focus on qualifications alone? Okay, I think people should focus on what is most credible to fight for. And it should cut across pre-election and post-election circumstances vis-a-vis the qualifications of the contestants as well. Okay, so qualification should not be dealt in isolation. They should also treat the issue of how elections were conducted, whether electoral laws were followed, whether electoral acts were followed, whether the people that conducted the elections are actually qualified to also conduct elections for Nigeria, and the rule of law with respect to conducting elections in Nigeria. Circumstances that surrounded elections like violence, voters intimidation, voters buying, and all whatnot, all of them, and voters inducement by using money. All of those things should also be looked at. Circumstances under which election results were made and winners were announced. All of these should also come to play. It should not be just the aspirants' qualifications alone. Okay, what about the information that were put inside the EC8A form, which is the application form from the beginning? When you buy the form, you fill information in that form. What details do you put in there? So you should look at all of that. And with all of that, would that be considered under qualification or what? We need to understand, because qualification is a big word. Is it academic qualification? Is it qualification by virtue of the details that were entered into the application forms versus what it is? Are documents forged? What about several other personal information that relates to the applicant? All of this need to be looked at. Liberals Oshoma, so he has made his own view and his own point, and at the same time, we also need to be sure that we don't dwell on what will give the APC or the judiciary a leeway to use technicalities to knock out challenges. Okay, and somebody is reacting to what Liberal Oshoma has said here, and somebody is making a comment here. Goodness is taken where good deeds are practiced. The results of actions taken and are being determined what will hope and must actually have. Why? Now, wow. Why Tinubu's standing contentious? His educational standing, his political status with the depravity of the state treasury and godfatherism and manipulations of kind. Everything will speak for and against him in court. And for Nigerians to remain resolute and one, we must shift from the past of falsehood where everything is beaded and stand with truth. Now, wow, English, now be this. The matter is in court and we are fighting here. They said that whoever is not satisfied should go to court, and Labour Party and Obi are in court. Let us wait. Our noise cannot decide the case. And how does it count? State is not same as federal. If, for instance, Tinubu was disqualified because of certificate, none of the remaining contestants can be declared as president, but the Senate president becomes the acting to conduct a by-election, and that where, as no mention of some states where elections was declared inconclusive or serious problems arose to warrant cancellations. Now, why English should they speak so? See your life, San O, San O Square. That is San O Square. Nigeria is sitting on gunpowder. Will there be peace if another election did not favor Tinubu? The judges are to use moral, good conscience, and law. They won't want wahala in Nigeria. Bola Tinubu versus Bola Tinubu. Bola Tinubu, who contested election in Nigeria, needs visa to go to US. But the Bola Tinubu, who graduated from the Chicago State University, is a black American, a US citizen. Bola Tinubu, who is presiding over Nigeria, was born in 1952. But Bola Tinubu, who attended Chicago State University, was born in 1954. Bola Tinubu, who is now leading Nigeria, is a male, but the Bola Tinubu who went to Chicago State University is a female. It's a very serious one. No? Bola Tinubu versus Bola Tinubu, a very serious one. So much you better put off your clothing and protest in the street of Anambra. Can you imagine? Well, the thing is clear here that Tinubu has a lot of integrity and legitimacy issue with her. With him, whether him or her now, because there is conflict between him or her, between Bola Tinubu of Chicago State University and the Bola Tinubu of Nigeria. It's a very serious one. Tinubu has no way to dog all his paths, and escaping routes are trapped. Enemies of fellow human, I pray you will not be put to shame, as many of you will faint when you come to know that Tinubu stands as president in 2027. May God deliver Nigeria from ethnicity. It has nothing to do with the tribe, but who can help us out of this pit of hopelessness? We are getting deeper into mess by what is going on today. They will regret it later. Exactly. Maybe Yorubas are buying bread and fuel cheap now. That is the problem. Maybe they are buying bread and everything cheap now, which I think they are not. And everybody will suffer it. Tinubu more educated with good intelligence than both of you. Obi, third class Atiku, nobody like Atiku. OBJ ruined him, so no one can remove Tinubu. Biafra greatest obstacle on Obi's way, and Obidius abusive propaganda. Can you imagine? Obi will not be president in Nigeria. Okay, we hear you. We hear you. Somebody say you are just a slave. If not just a slave, a willful slave that is lawful captive to politicians. That's exactly what this person is. So that is what is happening here. Liberal Shoma has made his own statement that most tribunal judgments that were made towards qualifications of the candidates and not circumstances surrounding elections. But I think in this case, we really have to deal with every issue encompassing. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.